Hello guys, welcome back to SWS Boxing. Delighted to get back on coach Mark Massow. He's Peter Mirga's head coach. And yeah, it's fight week for Peter Mirga. Well, it's tomorrow's fight week, but you know what I mean. He's fighting Ben Lilley for the Southern Area Bantamweight title at York Hall, Bethnal Green this Saturday. Yeah, I said it was at York Hall. Yeah. How are you, Mark?
Yeah, good, thanks. Raring to go. Yeah, yourself?
Yeah, mate, I'm all good, not too bad. Yeah. Um, yeah, I had you on a couple months ago now. It was, I believe, was it? I can't remember. I think it was maybe July. But yeah, or June.
Yeah,
Um,
going back, yeah.
so yeah, since we spoke, David Merger has retired. Talk about that.
Yeah, he was considering going down the journeyman route or sort of in the away corner. That was going to be the sort of plan. He was let down sort of pretty badly with tickets for his debut, and he was just going to take a chance and go in the away corner. But he started training. He's got a full-time job like most of them have. And he was struggling with his weight. Really, he was someone that ideally would have trained for a certain date, got the weight down, boxed at that weight, but going in the away corner, potentially a lot of sort of short notice jobs or not necessarily a lot of notice, and it was just going to be too hard for him to maintain a weight that he could have been competitive at, and do his full-time job. And so without sort of a sponsorship or backing where potentially could have gone in the home corner, had a bit of notice and sort of took each bout as it come, it just wasn't working out for him. He's still in the gym, but he's decided to sort of knock it on the head, really. His age was a bit of a factor as well. If he was young, if he was like a lot younger, he'd have had a lot more time on his hands to develop, but his age was a factor. It was sort of now or never, really, and it weren't quite working out for him. So he's still in the gym, he's still training, he's still like helping us out and stuff. But competitively, he's decided to stop, which is fair enough.
Do you feel like he could get in like the coach into being like a coach as well?
Yeah, I think long term that'll be the plan. He'll either help me out potentially, or he lives in Southend, so I'm near Chelmsford, so it takes him sort of 45 plus minutes to get to me. So ideally, he'll do his own thing Southend way if he gets involved with the training, and he'll either help me out or potentially in future I'll help him out if he sort of wants to get involved in it. And I think he wants to stay involved. So there's a good chance that's what he'll end up getting involved in, the training side of things.
So it's good that he's staying sort of in and around the sport, though.
Yeah, he was just frustrated really by the business side of it all. It wasn't that he didn't like boxing or didn't want to be involved in it anymore. It was more the business side of it, where like unless you've got a backer or a big sponsor that's going to buy a lot of tickets off you, or you've got a big following, it's hard going. And then to go the other route in the away corner, you've got to maintain within reason, sort of a fighting weight within reason. And he just struggled with it. He was a bit sort of, he was weighing far too heavy to be competitive as a journeyman, and the weight weren't coming off like he hoped. So to stay involved, I mean, he's been involved, he's been around boxing as an amateur and on the unlicensed scene, so he's been around it a long time. And
Do you
rather than
think
just
he should
walk
have
away,
turned pro earlier?
if it was something he wanted to have done, he could have pursued it earlier. But there's always other things going on in people's lives. You know, he's got a family, he had got a full-time job. So when he was younger, it wasn't the right time. When he turned pro older, he then looks back and thinks, oh, maybe I should have done it sort of 8 years previous, but 8 years previous there was something else going on in his life. So hindsight's a wonderful thing, as they say, but you can only do what you can do at the time of life you're in. And 8 years ago, it weren't the right time. So unfortunately, when he took the plunge, he's looked like he's left it a bit too late. But he had a go. He tried it. He can always say he tried it. It didn't work out, but at least he had a go. Do you know what I mean? And he still wants to stay involved. So if he does decide to apply for his trainer's license, he can any experience he's gained over the years, he can put that to good use.
Do you think he'll if he does become a coach, do you think he could be a good coach?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen him sort of training anyone, but his personality, he's level-headed, he's like quite a calm sort of individual. We don't get too excited about anything. He's not jumping around all over the place, screaming and hollering like you might see some people. So, his temperament, he's got a good temperament. It's just a matter of getting the best out of people, and you learn as you go on, regardless of how long you've been in the game. There's still things to learn. It's like what we know now, in 3, 4, 5 years time, we're going to know a lot more. So even the people that have been in the game all their life and they're sort of 60, 70 years old, they're still learning. They might have forgot more than I know, but they're still learning even to this day. So it's just a big learning curve for everyone, really.
Yeah, exactly that. And of course, Peter's back out this week. Of course, I spoke to you a few months ago after the Nico fight, a few months after that, and you said he would try and get out in September, and here we are now. Yeah,
he did want to get out before the summer, but it didn't quite work out like that. So, he was hoping to get a quick 4-rounder in before the summer break, but it didn't quite happen. But he's done well to get this opportunity. He's on Steve Goodwin's show next Saturday. Steve's arranged a Southern Area title fight at the weight below. Piotr Mirga held it at super bantamweight previous.
Yeah.
And he's now got a vacant title shot against Ben Lilley next Saturday at bantamweight. So it's a weight he's not done before, but everything seems all right. He seems to be doing all right with the weight as of now. It's just a matter of he's got the weigh-in Friday, the contest Saturday. It's funny with these sort of chats before any contest, because when everyone gets asked, how's training going, how's things been, everyone just turns around and says, really well, training's gone really well. And that's just the standard sort of answer. And then afterwards, if things don't work out, they then come forward and go, well, to be honest, things didn't really go well in training. It's a completely different interview. So sometimes you sort of think, is it worth even asking people beforehand, how's it going? Because the standard line is, even if it's going bad, you just tell everyone it's going well. But we've got no excuses. Training's gone well. I know it's the same old line, but he's had contests in the past where we haven't spoke about, where you think, things could have gone a bit better here, and it hasn't worked out for us. But I think from a promoter's point of view, you're only as good as your last fight, because the promoter sees it as what they can negotiate and how much you're worth. But the reality is,
sorry to interrupt. Why has he moved down to bantamweight? Was there not any opportunities?
It was more the opportunities. He could have had a run out at super bantam just to see where he was after the summer, but he suggested, if it's going to be sort of a run out at super bantam, is there a more meaningful contest at bantamweight? So Steve Goodwin went away and he said, I'll have a look. The Southern Area, we mentioned to him, actually the Southern Area is available at bantamweight. Is there anyone eligible to contest it? Ben Lilley had just got beat in a close contest for the English, and so he turned around and said, I'm up for going for the Southern Area. And they had a little think about it, and like I said, from a promoter's point of view and your worth, you're only as good as your last fight, but the reality is you're as good as the fight you're in. So if Peter gets it right next Saturday, he's back in the mix. So that's what we're hoping.
And of course, it's a chance to become a 2-time Southern Area champion and a 2-weight class Southern Area champion.
Yeah, he was the first from Southend, which is where he now lives, to win an area title. And now this is another incentive for him to stay at that level and win an area title in a second division. So there's plenty to fight for. Lilley was in a competitive contest for the English title.
Good fight, that.
Yeah, and so this will be his second chance at winning a legitimate title. So he'll be up for it as well. So it'll be interesting. It'll be a good contest.
What did you make of, without giving too much away, what did you make of Lilley's last fight against Roberts?
Yeah, I think it was a good contest. I thought it was closer on the cards than I thought it was, but they've fought twice now. They've had 2 10-rounders now, and I think they're just good together. I think although Ben Lilley's fallen short both times, he gave a good account of himself both times. So I think his style possibly gives Roberts a little bit of trouble. I think Roberts switched off a few times in it. I think style-wise, he had the style to beat him. And on paper, the way they both boxed, to win it a bit more clearly. I thought he did win, but when you heard the cards at the end, you thought Lilley made a good run of that. He took him quite close. Just a couple of rounds on a couple of cards, and he done well. I thought Roberts won, and I thought he deserved to win.
Yeah.
But I thought Lilley sort of gave a good account of himself, and he just fell short at the end. But he done well.
Yeah, and as you said, that was a good competitive fight. Yes, I agree with the cards. I think I had maybe Roberts 3 or 2 points up, I thought. But Ben did have some good success at times.
Yeah, he done well. He's very dogged and he's like persistent. I don't think he's particularly experienced, but he just uses what he's got like well. Do you know what I mean? He's not particularly fancy. He doesn't sort of try and get above his station. He's just what he's got. He uses well and tries to get the best out of himself, which is all you can do. He always seems to be fit, and which is half the game. He knows he's got 10 rounds in him, and so has Peter. Peter's experienced now at this level, and he's just raring to go, really, just to get back in the win column and push on.
Do you think Ben and his team will be looking at is Peter's last fight? But I mean, if he does, I mean, that was as we've spoken about it before, that was a very, very close fight and competitive fight right until the end.
Yeah, they'll be looking at that because when they was offered it, I don't suppose they knew too much about him. They would have had a little look and thought, oh, and then they've looked and they've gone, well, actually, he's coming off 2 losses. It's a good time to roll the dice and go for another title. So yeah, I've got no doubt that they've had a little look to see what it was all about, and that was a good contest for Peter. We knew it was a tough one. We weren't under any illusions. We didn't go there thinking we was the favourites or anything like that. We had a contest scheduled for the same night, that was offered to us on a bigger show, and it was a case of roll the dice and see if you can get something out of it. He done really well. He didn't win. I don't think he was ever really winning, but he was always in the contest. He always had a chance.
I think I had it 5-2, maybe won a draw or 5-3. Can't remember. Yeah,
he was doing well. There was 2 rounds to go. We got told afterwards he was 2 rounds down with 2 rounds to go. So he was still in it. If he had done well in the last 2 rounds, he could have nicked a draw. If he didn't, it was a credible points defeat. And bearing in mind, we went there as big underdogs. We didn't sort of we went there to win. It weren't like, oh, just go there, put up a good performance and see what we can get out of it. He wanted to win.
I thought he performed better in that fight than he did in the Ramez fight.
Yeah, he did. The Ramez fight was, I've said it before, I think both the training for both boxers, Ramez and Peter, they weren't ideal, but they both decided to go ahead with it. Yeah. And all credit to Ramez, he deserved the points decision. But it was a good contest, but Rames won. We got that, draw a line under that one. He deserved it. We decided to roll the dice on the Nico contest. It was a very good contest. It was competitive. He just got caught with a shot. You know, just one of them things. That's boxing for you, isn't it? You know, it happens, and it wasn't a sort of a head shot where you're a little bit dazed and you can sort of flag it a bit and bluff your way. He just couldn't breathe, and it's, you know, it is what it is. But he's been caught a load of body shots in that contest as well, and he's taken them. That one caught him right on the spot, and it was just one of them things. But you know, he put up a good fight. He won a few rounds, and it was competitive, and he done well. Now he just needs to get back in the win column because, like I said, it's not you're only as good as your last fight. You're as good as the fight you're in. So he needs to get it right next Saturday now and prove to everyone he's back. He's back looking for titles.
Do you see this fight as a stepping stone sort of fight to where you sort of want him back to be?
Well, the aim's the English long term. There's no rush to get there. It's not like there's any sort of ticking off the days and all that. It's just that he wants to win the English. That's his goal. And the southern area, so good titles, a legitimate title, and you've got a little bit of sway. If you hold that, it puts you back up there, back in the mix. So hopefully things will go to plan next Saturday. He can win the southern area, and then it opens up doors. Whether he goes for a defence before the year's out or sees what the landscape lies, who's got the English still, and
at
see what's
bantam
on.
or super bantam.
Yeah, he'll go really. If he makes bantamweight all right, then he'll probably stay there. If he wins the bantamweight southern area, but then at super bantam a slot becomes available for the English, then he'll go for that. At the moment, Nico's going to get the shot at the English, which is fair enough. He had
Razor Alley, I think.
Yeah, and he had a bad cut eye. So once that's all healed up, he's got first crack at it, and then we'll just go from there. But Peter's up for the bantam or the super bantam. He just needs to take one bout at a time without getting sort of ahead of himself. The important date is next Saturday.
Are you as a coach, are you expecting a tough fight?
Yeah, definitely, because I think that Lilley's style, he's not someone who sort of messes about. He doesn't usually, I know you don't know how it's all going to pan out, but he's not someone who usually goes off the back foot and tries to nick rounds. His style is aggressive. He's going to come forward, and you've got to try and contain him and get your own shots off. So even the bouts he's lost, they've always been competitive. It's just a matter you've got to do more than he is, hit and not be hit.
I think the styles in this fight should gel quite nicely.
Yeah, it's good. On paper, it's a good contest. So it's just a matter of who gets it right on the night.
Mm-hmm. And what does this fight mean to you both?
Oh, it's everything, because for Peter to get where he wants to get, he needs to get back in the winning column.
Must win.
It's a must-win fight for him. I know they all are. They're all must-win contests, really. But it just makes it harder. Like if you're losing regularly, it just makes it harder. He's trying to sell tickets. All of a sudden, people were making excuses. They don't want to go. You start losing too many. Your fans that are buying tickets don't want to support a loser. All of a sudden, it becomes hard to sell tickets. So, it means everything to him. The title means everything. He's got a lot of respect for the title. He wants to win it at a second division, and then he wants to open doors, pushing on for the rest of the year. But all that's on hold. He just needs to get it right next Saturday at the moment.
Mm-hmm. And of course, it's a good card as well that he's on. Of course, there's an English title fight on it as well. There's a few debutants and a few good prospects fighting. So it makes for a good night of boxing, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think there's 10 bouts scheduled. There's the vacant English at middleweight. That'll be topping the bill. And then, like you said, there's an handful of 4 and 6 rounders. propping the bill up underneath. So you've got 2 10-rounders and then a full undercard of 4 and 6s. So yeah, it should be a good night.
And you reckon he'll be second last on, so co-main probably?
Yes, yeah. If there's 10 bouts, there's no order out yet, but I'd imagine he's going to be 7, 8, or 9. Yeah, he's going to be later on in the evening. You would expect, yeah.
Has he got a big crowd coming to support him?
Yeah, as far as I know, he's done all right with the tickets. It's always a bit hit and miss. People telling you they want to go, and then when you actually ask for the money, all of a sudden something's happened, and they've got an anniversary they forgot about or a birthday they forgot about. So he has all them standard sort of excuses, but people don't generally do it on purpose. You know, life goes on for everyone else. And their life don't stop just because you've got a contest coming up, and it's not a cheap night out, and he knows that. But he's got his loyal sort of fan base that always go, and then he's got another group that almost take it in turns. Sometimes they can go, sometimes they don't. But he's done all right. He's done all right with the tickets, which is always a bit of a worry because you end up becoming a ticket salesman as well as a professional boxer. So it's hard. It's an hard old life, isn't
it? Exactly. And anything else you want to mention before you go? Whether that's even his sponsors, shout your gym out and stuff.
Yeah, Pete's got a few sponsors. He'd be better off telling you all that, who they are. If I start listing them and miss someone out, it won't be fair on them. So it's best to quote you on his sponsors. But I'm still at my gym. I'm off my Instagram page at the moment. I'll be going back on that in a few weeks. I've just got some things going on, so I'm off there in a minute. But that's probably why you won't be able to tag me in on this. But once I'm back on it, you will be out of.
Okay.
But yeah, my gym's still going. sweetsciencestudio.com. You can get hold of me on there, or search my name up, Mark Massow. You'll find me somewhere. But yeah, all's going well. You going Saturday?
I'm not sure, but anyway,
Right.
I wish you luck either way.
Yeah, no, that's all right. So let us know if you're going. We'll tie in with you.
Yeah. And yeah, from me as always, thank you for your time, Mark, and yeah, good luck on Saturday.
Yeah, cheers. Thanks. All the best. I'll speak to you soon.
Bye, mate.
Cheers. Thanks a lot.